Hey everyone, this is Charmaine from Fantastic Crafts. I hope all of you are having a fantastic day. Today we're going to be doing a card that I named Floral Wreath Card. It's a very pretty card. I showed in the last video how to cut out these dies, and you can check that video out. I'll link it in the description below. And let's get started. Before I get started, actually, I wanted to say I'm sorry my voice is a little raspy. As many of you may or may not know, fighting a cold in this cold season. So I just wanted to let you guys know that. Sorry about that. But so I cut out my die pieces for my Cricut, and I saved the cutout that came off of that because I will be puzzling these pieces back, and this is how I will be able to do multiple stamps, multiple images, multiple times to create this multiple card. I made a few cards, so that's kind of why I did it this way, but you don't even have to make the same card. What I did is I actually cut these out and stamped them, and I used it for different cards. The one I'm showing today is one version of this, how to use this stamp set and die, digital die, but I will be making other videos where I'll also be showing that. So what I did is I went ahead and I put in the stamps first, all of them. I pieced them together just like I'm doing with the paper or the cardstock. And then I used my Misty to just pick them up. And then I did the same thing with my cardstock pieces, the ones that were cut out. And they fit perfectly because this is the cutout where I got it from. So once I had that, I used my Memento black ink because I am going to be doing alcohol coloring on these flowers. So I just simply pressed that down, and I thought I needed to stamp it twice, but actually the first time it just came out so perfect. I was very, very impressed. I then took the colors JG5 and JG6 and I colored the leaves with these two green. I started by taking the darker green and I just kind of outlined it where the lines were already placed, like the middle part and the lines of the leaves. And then I went with the lighter color, the JG5, and I just colored the whole thing with that. It's that simple. I just used these two colors and it really gave it a really pretty blended look, but I didn't have to work hard for it. As you can see, it's just kind of, it gives it dimension. I then used the colors GB6, GB5, and GB4 in the Spectrum Noir marker line, and I colored most of my flowers with these colors. I simply used the darkest color, which for me was the GB6, on the center, and then I worked myself out using the darkest in the center, the medium shade, and the lightest at the tips. I did go back and I colored where I thought there should be a little bit more shading with the GB6, and then blended it with the GB5. You don't have to do all that work. I think these flowers are gorgeous on its own. You could even just color it with one color and it's just really pretty. I love this kind of a patterned flower. But I decided I wanted to play with my Spectrum Noir markers a little bit more today, so I decided to do that. I then used another one of Maymay's stamp sets, Happy Fall, and I wanted to stamp with this wreath that comes with this. It's like half a wreath, and you just kind of make it whatever wreath size you want. Actually, it's not half, it's a part of a wreath, and you can make it as a wreath or you can make it as branches, but I used it to make a circle wreath. And you can use anything you want. I had these blocks in hand, so I just used that to just make a circle. It's super easy. Then I went ahead and used this Stress Oxide ink, and I made a few of this using the same stamp set. I just kind of went around and made a few leaves or stamped a few leaves on it. I then took these flowers that I had colored earlier, and I just kind of did a dry run to see exactly where I wanted to place these flowers. And I knew I wanted to kind of do a corner flower, not really flowers all over the wreath, because I wanted those gorgeous leaves to still show. So I just took a double-sided a foam square, and I attached it to the wreath itself to kind of give it dimension. The other reason why I did this was because I wanted to attach the leaves that I had colored earlier onto the bottom part of the flowers, so it would kind of look like it's growing out of the flower. I then went around looking at my scraps drawer, and I found this designer paper I had already from my Happy Y'all paper set. And I decided to use that little strip of paper. But before I put that on, I wanted to use the Happy Fall stamp set and put the little berries that comes with it all over the piece of background for my the background that I have right now. And I decided to do that because I wanted to incorporate more of the orange in the flowers and in the leaves. I thought it would bring out the green and the yellows of these flowers, and I wanted to go for a more fall look than any kind of specific holiday. So I did that, and then I took my Misty out again and took that Happy Fall stamp set again, and I used a banner that comes with it, and it says Happy Fall Y'all. And I wanted to have this be very, very crisp, which is why I went ahead and used the Misty and then stamped it twice with my Versamark ink, because then it gave this gorgeous crisp color, and you can see this Happy Fall Y'all perfectly. Once I had it stamped, I just used my fussy cutting scissors to fussy cut this out. Then I went around with the black Spectrum Noir marker, and I just colored the parts. If there were any white part, I just colored it in just to give it more of a finished look. Then I took some foam squares and I attached that to the back of that banner, and then I put that on top of that strip of cardstock that I had. Then I decided to use this new product. I wanted to try it out. It's the Nina textured cardstock, and I was so impressed with this. I love the texture. I feel like it gives it a really nice dimension to the card and a really different look. And also, I just love the feel of this cardstock. It feels heavy, it feels nice, and you'll just feel the difference. I also love the colors it comes with. It's like a nautical color. It's like nautical colors, but I used it for this fall card, and it just is so gorgeous. I love that deep slate color, and it has some reds and blues that I have not used yet, but the colors are just gorgeous. I finished this card off by using some Nuvo silver drops, and I just went around and I put some on the center, and then I put some on the wreath itself to just kind of give it a nice finished look. And I loved the result of this card. I just thought it's gorgeous. It is simple, but it's also elegant, and I feel like I could give this to anybody if they don't celebrate a holiday, or if they're just having a bad winter or bad fall. I could just send this to them with a sweet little message, and I really think that would make them happy. So I really liked the outcome of this card. If you enjoyed this tutorial, please give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. And also remember to hit that bell sign just so you get notification of any future videos that I do. Thank you so much for watching. I hope all of you have a wonderful Thanksgiving. Bye.